My name is Michael Anugu. Uh, I live here in Poronavia Village Assembly, Bana District, within this Bolawe constituency of the southern region of Bougainville. I've been working very closely with the village people uh, in our endeavor to resettle back the people back to the villages. People meaning families, uh, uh, the ex-combatants, people whom I've been working closely with for this past 3 years. I've been trying to assist by way of getting them involved in activities, normal daily activities, basically to get them settled back to their villages under the leadership of their chiefs, the clan chiefs, village chiefs, and also within their families. Because since the time of the crisis, when we went into the crisis, most of these young lads, they have been moved out of their family units into these bands of different factions. So I think it is about time that we need to get them back, have them resettled, and have them to see where they belong originally, and not as during the crisis where they have developed the mentality of being under a leader, or maybe within this crisis period under a commander or under a faction group. So about this time when we should be working towards getting them back into their own communities, own families, and then getting these young lads to be involved more actively into rebuilding uh, by rehabilitations, and also getting into normal activities which village people they take part in as a way forward to uh, become more active participants in preparation for our political endeavors. Long way by mi lukim plan di olo yang pla imi can categorize simol. Imi can categorize simol long different categories. All categories mi tok tok long em ikat online usat oli pin big man pins na imi ko inselo crisis. All big plan man pins na ipin kat oli yang pla oli stop lo school na oli ko crisis. Oli burukim school belong all time oli masih ko join up on them faction group. Oke ikat all this pla usat oli different education levels primary school na high school Oke ikat disa oli pin stop lo peles na crisis karama pimimina long this la time period oli kama big plaman most of them oli no pin kat good plus school too pikinini oli born inside lo fight lo crisis period na tu ol pikinini belong all displa ipin kama ol fight man na oli married inside lo crisis na oli born in more that's another category mi can look long all na all displa oli need special attention long different levels belong all which long time mi work one them all mi look em all sem this like big plan need to because time mi look long man if satipin big man na fight ikirap na ligo inside lo fight those very people they have seen what or they know what it is to be in a good time as we talk about before they have known peace, they have felt peace, they have lived in peace, the peace that we anticipate, that we want to come up to. Okay, all this la narapla oli school na oli come up, this a crisis he come up, oli been stop lo learning process for lifelong all. They were in the learning age. Na long this la time oli losing school, oli learning violence. Indirectly. They were not taught to be violent, but situation made them to become violent. Now they are married. and most of their children, they are violent kids. Because the fathers of those kids, they learned violence during the crisis. And I think I'm normal something lo time long war, and by making money come up man long koros. Out of fear, to overthrow fear, the inbuilt fear, you must come up man long koros, show your muscle power. That's according to what I've seen. This is I'm on blood group, which we need to address through rehabilitation. And the other group, they were small kids. When crisis come up, all this like pequenini, only grow inside all this blah. Now he got all poured, only grow up one time. He got koros, only witness him, only look him. Sorry, only stop one time. All this is something, let me build up inside long. Now only big blah one time. And now all these placentas, and long halipim long trim long look only by look sa all same yes, because this situation me come up all same tete. There's a situation that has changed my life to being who I am. And me making all the characters where me got now, and me because Lord is something. And I'm way forward too, Lord making me come out in more long this blah. Me can to kalabus or stop long to free make him become free man, to living the normal life as a normal person out of a violent society, violent community, fearful community. Only come up also more normal man where you make a time long sorry, time long how much. Now suppose me walk long all by look so long this plan I come back also. Sampla, those areas also have been mostly affected or severely affected by the crisis, and probably taking more time. Now, different areas even got different effect, impact of crisis. Sampla are experiencing more killing than the others. Yes, now. The traumatic experience, very low different situations.
Now, how do they express them back in a normal life?
Normal life, like time only you got likely corrosion about it come up automatically, body running knife. Time only spark click, mas got pocket knife is tab long, side long body na body spark one time. Only yang pla. Time tu pla mama ipait. Pikin ini Mary usat ipin experience yang bersepla. Pai kirap na buruk imol plate spoon cup suspend. Effect do display. You know something man by talk long by reading lo actions belong.
How do you help those kinds of people? How would you do that?
You got suppose government in a assist him one time maybe trauma institutions. Institutions where by making more money looks how back. Or say yes. You have to redo the history of what they've seen or you go through long na kisi more come outside. Time one player it looks how yes. True ya something even come up also na me come up also. So me must lose him this blah. To so making me come up also now me no can also. Because something that is a situation making me been come up also.